Hello everyone. I know I usually don't public any video. Actually, it's my really first video, but I felt the need to share my story. My story is not very happy and pleasant, as you might notice from my tone of voice, my face, and the background. It's not professional video to promote myself. It's a video to share my story. Okay, let's start. So as some of you knows, I was working in Indonesia in the last 9 months, since July 2019. For different reason, I decided to take a break from my profession, which is executive chef, and I was planning to travel a little bit around Asia because it's a part of the world that it takes time to explore and to feel and understand the culture. So after Indonesia, I was planning to move to Kuala Lumpur at least for the next 3 weeks, and here it is my story. On the 10th of March, I had a flight ticket booked with Malaysian Airlines, so not a low cost, or I didn't make any strange way to go to Malaysia. I went to Malaysia with their flagship company. I landed on the 10th of March in the evening. I had a reservation for the next 3 weeks in a nice apartment, because one of the things good when I choose Kuala Lumpur is because quality of life is quite affordable. So I decided to stay there for 3 weeks, and then most probably I would have moved to Thailand, Vietnam, and so on, because my wish was to get more feeling of Asia and the cultures and food, as I am a chef, right? So I wanted to get the best out of my Asian experience. To make a long story short, even if this video will not be too short, unfortunately, they didn't allow me to enter Malaysia. So they stopped me in Kuala Lumpur, and they did stop me. So basically, I went to passport control in the immigration desk, which many of you might have been. Usually if you are required to have a special visa, online visa, or whatever, you do the paperwork before you arrive the country, which is the most normal things to do. You get all the information, and this time I did the same. I get all the information. I went to Malaysian website, to their official website to check. I went to the Italian embassy website. So I make all the research because I'm not traveling the world for the first time. So no one was saying that Italian citizens are not allowed to enter Malaysia. It was an advertisement that there are certain countries which have been heavily affected by coronavirus, so will be not advised to travel from Italy to Malaysia, of course. And anyway, you will not get out of Italy, unfortunately, in this moment, because everything's blocked. And anyway, I said that's what we live in now with coronavirus. So I was prepared to stay and explain to the officers that I've been working in Indonesia at the KITAS. KITAS is the working permit visa to stay in Indonesia. I can prove that I've been in Indonesia and only traveling 2 times to Singapore in the first few months, from June until October, until September. So the last 6-7 months I've only been in Indonesia, so no way that I've been contaminated either from Singapore or Italy or whatever. But they didn't want to know my story. They were very straightforward that you are Italian. For me, you are in the blacklist because holding an Italian passport, and you have to go to another office where we will holding you until we will put you back in another flight, either to Indonesia or back to your own country, Italy. And then start the tragedy because I was not prepared to all of this. I was prepared to explain where I'm coming from and so on, but not to be treated as criminal just because I'm holding an Italian passport, and they don't advertise anywhere online that Italians are not welcome anymore. They are not advertising to their flagship company, Malaysian airline, not to make an Italian passport holder travel to them within the country. So how should I know that I'm not allowed to enter Malaysia? My first question. And they said, I don't care. We have rules to follow. You can check with Malaysian airline one day why they allowed you to fly, but now you are here and we will need to keep you in the holding lounge. That's how they call, but it's actually the real name. It's a prison which you paid to stay in. So he has price of 4-5 stars hotel in Malaysia, which is $60 per day, and you stay in the prison. So that was my beautiful first night experience in Kuala Lumpur a few days ago. And what was inside this room? Inside this room was many people from everywhere, mostly Pakistan, Indians, African, Chinese. So some people been there because like me, coming from a country of coronavirus, and most of them they've been there because they had problem with the law, or they tried to enter the country even though they knew that they are not allowed to. So people that breaking the law, let's say criminals, yeah, with criminals record as well. So after I entered this room, I was shocked. Because before I entered the room, they take me my mobile phone. They refused me to call the embassy or to talk with their police. They just put me there and say, you stay there. And before that, I pay $100 deposit to enter. And it was horrible. It was horrible because in this room was no a chair, no a bed, no nothing. Was some old broken chairs which was taken by the Indian, Pakistan and Chinese people. It was two tables which the African people were sleeping on it. And then it was some space on the floor, so I had to make my own space in this room. I stay in the floor like an animal. They removed my shoes, so I didn't have shoes anymore, only socks. And all the time I had to go to the bathroom. I had to remove my shoes, make sure that I wrap up my trousers, my jeans, not to get dirty, and go inside the toilet, which was, I don't want to describe because it's very, you can imagine yourself in this environment what you might find. So after I did what I could do in the toilet, I had to stay to wash my feet, my hands, but it was no soap, so you wish not to get any illness. And then you come back in this room that is nothing, it's just a small space that you have to stay there, and you cannot read, you cannot write, you cannot talk with your family, your friends, or sharing your story, ask for help, nothing. You are put it there like an animal closed in this room. Of course you cannot go out, there is no ring to bell, there is nothing. And then you have this wet feet, it's freezing, and you have to wait to dry, to put again the sock to feel again a little bit warmer. Horrible. And that's the purpose of this video, to make sure that no one Italian or European by now, because we are all unfortunately in the same situation or very similar. Not go to Malaysia, don't go to Malaysia. They will not let you in, and they will treat you like an animal. They will not respect the international human rights at all. And that's why I'm sharing this story. And I want to say more about this room. In this room, some people died. Yes, died. One of them killed himself. Another one died because cold, sick. Next to me was a guy, which a poor guy was very sick, coughing, eye fever, sweating, vomiting. So of course I needed to change place, but nobody cared. He could die there. They don't care. I can get sick. They don't care. And there is no one to talk, no one to listen your story, no one to help you. So please share this video, not because my popularity, I don't care. Share this video in order not one of your friends, colleagues, family members can go through what I went, because you know what, it's not easy to get out of there. I have experience of life. I've been traveling many countries in the world, around the world. So I smelled the situation and I could find a solution, and I had some money to purchase my ticket to Romania, because by now I came to Bucharest. Why to Bucharest is another story, because there was no flight to go back to Italy. I could choose to fly back to Indonesia, but not having anymore the working visa, I could remain stuck in Indonesia in a similar room, because at this point of, I don't know, this Muslim country or but it's not about the religion. I accept all the religion in the world, but this mentality, this organization of this certain country, they're very not respecting the human rights. So I was not taking any more in consideration to go Indonesia, even though was not any flight to go back in the same day. So I had to wait another day or two, and God knows what will happen to me in that room. So the only way I had was to go back to Italy, which anyway it's my own country, and I feel safe. Even if we are in the coronavirus and everybody's stuck home, we do respect the human rights. We are that you cannot compare. You cannot compare what I saw there and what is our own beautiful country at the moment, even with all the problems of coronavirus, and people cannot go out. They have to respect the quarantine and so on. So let's go back inside this room. When I was inside, I tried, because people might think, maybe you didn't ask to respect your human right. I did. I shout. You know what I've been answered back? Let me bring you ideally inside that room. You are stuck inside this room. There is a glass door, which only the supervisor, the guards, or whatever you want to call these people in charge, they have access to open. And you have no ring to bell. There is nothing. You can only wish to knock that door, and hopefully somebody will come. Yeah, so I did. I knocked this door. I said, listen, there is some misunderstanding here. I'm not supposed to be here. I am a tourist. I have Italian passport. I haven't been in Italy. And if you believe I have problem with coronavirus, you should send me to hospital or to a doctor, not keep me in the jail. And he said, this is not a jail, this is a holding lounge, this is a lounge. Yeah, but you locked me up. Say, where do you want to go? You have to stay here. Shut up. I said, no, it's not about me to shut up, sir. It's about me that I'm in the wrong place. You need to understand that I'm in the wrong place. I don't feel safe here. I want to talk either with the Italian ambassador of the embassy or with your police or somebody which can explain. Say, you talking too much now. If you want to know the jail, I bring you to the jail. We have another room where we really lock you up there, and then there is less camera. I can do with you whatever I want. You really want to see that? This was already 2 o'clock in the morning, and thanks God I had a watch. They didn't remove my watch because inside there is only a broken watch. It's always light, so you don't know when it's night, when it's day. Nobody has watch, maybe me and another person. This is the condition. How did I get out of this? Because I start to make a connection inside the room and said, okay, how long have you been here? It was people stay 10 days, 1 week. So how do you get out? And they told me, of course, with money. I said, okay, what I have to do? Let me talk with someone. I will arrange. You have to buy the ticket yourself. They will not buy for you. I said, yeah, it's okay. I will pay the ticket. I just want to get out. Sorry. So the next day in the morning, they promised me that somebody early in the morning will come to see me, but no, I was there waiting at 5 o'clock. Said, oh, soon it will be 6. There is the first flight to Indonesia or anywhere in the world, so I can leave. Nobody comes until 9 o'clock. That somebody open the door and give some ugly breakfast, and you think maybe somebody will ask you, will come to check your how you doing, if you're healthy and mentally safe. They don't care. They really don't care. They give you the food like animals. They call you by name. So it's same system as prison, even though I never been there. I watched some movie and I think it's like this. But I think in the prison you have a bed, you have a sort of place where to sleep, a mattress, a towel or something. Not in the floor like animals. So you can imagine you cannot sleep, you have to watch out, nobody touch you, you have what left on you. Horrible. And God knows what can happen there in the night. You go to toilet, there is no camera, you have to watch out to see if everybody more or less sleep and try to go and then you come back, you wait your feet to dry, and this is so you start not to drink, not to go to toilet. That's the real feeling. Even you have only one small bottle of water, but when you are agitated you cannot recognize your body anymore, so and you start to shake because you don't have clothes to repair you from the cold air conditioning. You don't have duvet, you don't have enough calories from food because they only give you a very small amount of food, and you honestly I didn't even add feeling to it, which was my mistake, maybe because we should all try to eat when it's worse situation. And then as the second time they give us meal, I start to eat because you have to somehow understand that you cannot do nothing. You not decide like in the real life. There it's not real. Yeah. So once again, I've been already almost 20 minutes. I think it's too long. I could stay here and discuss another hour because but this is not the point. I'm not looking for somebody to understand my feeling. I'm really looking for you people out there to share my story, not to happen to any other person in the world, because I am a citizen of this world. I never committed any crimes. I never did anything wrong. I don't expect Malaysia to be sorry that in Italy we are all suffering about the coronavirus, but trying to fight, and we will fight, and Italy will be strong again. But you cannot treat me like a criminal. Thank you for watching and for sharing. Have a good day.